Alright folks, tonight we're going to change the water pump on a 1956 5.5 Johnson CD 12. If you haven't seen it before, check out the video for dropping the lower unit. The lower unit's off, and for the purposes of the pictures I kind of clean things up. Step one is get the screws out. Remove all 4 screws from the water pump. I know, the old guys will say take them out by hand, but these tools really make the job easy. Once all 4 screws are out, you might have to pop this housing loose a little bit or not. You can slide it up, and the question is, what do you do with the shaft? Get it loose, grab the drive shaft, and just pick the whole assembly up. Look at that, my seals are coming out too. So we'll drop that down. We'll have to reseal that when we get back to the lower unit. But we get down here and pull it out, and there you have the water pump ready to be taken apart. Now slide that out, watch for your pin. There's a little drive pin in there, keep that. A new water impeller or water pump kit may have a new pin, it may not. Don't lose your pin just in case it doesn't. Pull the drive shaft back out the back. There's your impeller. Notice how that impeller's vanes are set. That's not a good impeller. That's not going back in the motor. At this time also, you want to check this wear plate. You take a look at this one. There's noticeable grooves around there. This plate's gone. I'm going to dig through my parts bin and find one that's a little bit in a little better shape. And also on this pump housing, there's some good. You can see a lot of grooves in there. It's been worn pretty well too. While we got this here, this tiny little hole right there at the end of my finger is one that has to be clear if you want the water pump to work. So if you're going to use the housing you got or whatever housing you get, you make sure that little pinhole is cleaned out. A little solvent, some air pressure, or a thin wire to clear that out. That's a little air release, so if there's an air bubble in the impellers, it'll get out and let water into it. When you're ready to put things back together, set your wear plate in there. Get yourself your housing. Put some kind of a lubricant in there. Some people use WD-40. Some people say to use Vaseline. Doesn't matter. Something light and thin. I use a compound called Lubidol. It's really nice stuff. Get your impeller set and set it so that with the rotation of the motor, basically spin the impeller so it would match what the rotation of the motor would be if you were starting it. Get it in there. Twist it. And get it set so it's pretty much lined up with the center hole. Once you have that done, bring your drive shaft right back through it again. Get yourself so you can find your little hole. Put your drive pin in. Pull the drive pin back, let it engage the impeller. And then, actually I got that pin loaded pretty good as to where it makes sure it's lined up with the front of the motor. At this point, just stand the whole assembly up. Drop it back down through. Set it in place. Put some Loctite on your threads. Put your threads or screws in. And crank her down. I'm not going to do the rest of these because I got more work to do on this lower unit. I got to pull it apart and reseal it. I'll do another video on that sometime. But not too hard a job to do, very easy, and makes a big difference in the way the motor runs and how long it lasts. Take care.